because I know a lot of us are doing things to support ourselves. We're trying the routines, we're trying to get adequate rest, we're trying to eat better and move our bodies and stay organized. And those things help. Of course they do. I talk about it. I know they help. I've been leaning into them myself. And yes, I have felt the difference. But they don't remove the load. They support you in holding what's already there. But if you're still holding too much, you're going to feel it. And that doesn't mean those things aren't working. It just means that your load is too high. Hey Mama, welcome back to Nature to Nurture, simply caring for our children. I'm really glad you're here. If you've been feeling overwhelmed lately or like you're reacting in ways that don't quite match how you want to show up, this episode's for you. And I want to start with something simple. You're not overwhelmed because you're doing something wrong. You're overwhelmed because you are carrying a lot. And I think that's something that we don't hear enough. Because when we're in it, it doesn't feel like I'm carrying a lot. It feels like, why am I snapping so fast? Why does this feel harder than it should? Why can't I just stay calm in this moment? And those moments, they can feel small from the outside. You know, a child who's not listening, a transition that just doesn't go the way you want it to, your tone of voice that shifts quicker than you expect. But inside of the moment, it feels huge. And it's not because of what's happening right then, but it's because of everything that has already happened. Sometimes it can show up in really small, ordinary moments. Like when you're at the kitchen making dinner, you're already thinking about what still needs to happen after you finish dinner. Then your kid comes up and asks you something, and it might be a simple question. But in that moment, it does not feel simple. It feels like it is another thing on top. And your response comes out sharper than you expected. And then right after that, there's this feeling of, oh my gosh, why did I respond like that? But when you slow it down, it wasn't about the question. It was about everything that you were already holding before the question came. And I think that those are the moments where we start to see this a little bit more clearly. And this is where I've been sitting at lately. Instead of asking, what's wrong with me? Or why can't I just handle this better? I've been asking, what am I actually carrying into this moment? Because none of us walk into our homes empty. We're carrying the day, the noise, the conversations, the pressure, the mental load of everything that we are trying to keep track of. And that doesn't just disappear when we walk through our door. This is where this word comes in. Capacity. Not in a productivity way, not in a how much can I get done kind of way, but in a really grounded way. Capacity is what your body can hold, what your nervous system can stay steady through, and what your mind can carry you through without tipping over. It's not just about what you're doing, but it's about what you're holding while you're doing all of it. Because it's not just making the meals and getting the kids ready, cleaning up and answering the questions. It's also thinking ahead, anticipating what they're going to need, holding their emotions and yours, staying patient when you're already tired, and keeping everything flowing. And most of that is invisible. But your body feels it. One thing I think is really important to understand about capacity is that it lives in the body. It's not just a mindset. And it's not just something that you can think your way out of. Your body is constantly tracking how much input is coming in, how much stress is being held, and how much rest or support is actually available. And when that balance is off, your body responds. And that's when you feel the tightness, the irritation, the fatigue, that sense of being on edge. And sometimes we try to override it and we try to push through. But your body is actually giving you information. It's letting you know, hello, this is too much right now. I want to say something here that feels really important, because I know a lot of us are doing things to support ourselves. We're trying the routines, we're trying to get adequate rest, we're trying to eat better and move our bodies and stay organized. And those things help. Of course they do. I talk about it. I know they help. I've been leaning into them myself. And yes, I have felt the difference. But they don't remove the load. They support you in holding what's already there. But if you're still holding too much, you're going to feel it. And that doesn't mean those things aren't working. It just means that your load is too high. There's something that my grandma says that I think about often. She told me, you can do it all, honey, but you can't do it all at once. And I think what she was really naming right there is capacity. Because it's not that we're not capable. It's that everything is happening at the same time. And when everything stacks, our capacity gets stretched. So when a moment happens with your child, it's not just about that moment. It's about what your child is already carrying and what you are already carrying, all together. And when both of those are really high, things feel harder. The reactions come faster, patience is thinner, and the moment escalates quicker than we expect. And it's not because we don't care, but it's because we are full. And this is why you can have one day where something happens and you stay calm, and another day where the exact same thing happens and it feels completely different. It's not inconsistency, it's capacity. So if you want something really simple to try just for today, I want you to notice one moment where things start to feel tight. It doesn't need to be the biggest moment, just a small one. And instead of reacting right away, see if you can pause and ask yourself, what am I carrying right now? And it's not to fix it. It's not to change it. It's just to name it. Because even that small moment of awareness can start to shift how the moment unfolds. So instead of trying to fix behavior or trying to control every moment, we start with awareness. What am I holding right now? What might my child be holding right now? And just letting that question soften things a little. Not solve it, just soften it. Sometimes the shift is really small. A soft pause before you respond. Taking a breath. Stepping outside for a minute. Letting your voice soften instead of tighten. Not because you should, but because you notice where you are. I think this is the part that feels really important to name. We're not meant to carry this alone. Not the emotional part, not the mental load, not the day-to-day weight of it all. And yet, so many of us are doing exactly that. We're trying to hold everything together without enough support around us. And over time, that builds. And it makes even small moments feel heavier than they need to be. This is something that I've been thinking about a lot, because this isn't something that we're meant to figure out alone, which is why I've decided to open up a small parent group this summer. It's a 7-week series called Positive Solutions for Families, and it is an evidence-based curriculum that's rooted in social and emotional development. But what matters most to me is how we actually are going to experience this together. Because this isn't just about learning information, it's about having a space to slow down, reflect, and begin responding differently in those everyday moments. And we're going to be doing that alongside other parents who are also navigating this. We're going to build a small supportive community within this series so that you're not just taking in content, you're actually supported as you practice it. And there are a few sponsored spots available if that would make it more accessible for you. I'll share more details down in the show notes. But for now, I just want to leave you with this. If things are feeling harder than you expected, it doesn't mean that you're doing it wrong. It might just mean that you're holding more than you were ever meant to hold on your own. And noticing that is the beginning of something different. If this episode resonated with you, I would really love for you to hit follow on that podcast and share it with someone who might need to hear this too. And if you want more reflections like this, you can join my Friday newsletter. I'll link that down below. And again, thank you for being here, showing up, and simply caring for our children.